Assault and battery. What's the difference between assault and battery? The difference between assault and battery is that a battery ends up with an actual strike, an actual touching, while an assault does not, right? The assault can take place without even striking another person, right? Let's go to battery. Is there more than one type of battery offense in Nevada? Yes, there are many. There are many common forms of battery, right? For example, first let's start out with simple battery. This is misdemeanor battery. It's a battery constituting domestic violence. It's also a misdemeanor battery. Then you go into some felonies: battery with a deadly weapon, battery with substantial bodily harm. Now, those are the types of batteries, right? According to Nevada state law, battery is defined as any willful and unlawful use of force or violence upon the person of another, right? Battery can occur against another person, adult, a minor, or even a protected person or a person over the age of 60. Those are kind of sometimes how they'll classify it. So, what are the types of people when I talk about protected class? Those basically involve certain professionals are given this special class. These include the following, right? Police officers, firefighters, correction officers, taxi cab drivers, school employees, judges, healthcare providers, right? Those are part of a protected class. The penalties increase if you commit a battery against one of those persons. What about a simple battery? Well, a simple battery is defined as any non-consensual, harmful contact regardless of the injury involved. So this could involve a push, a spit, even a punch. What is a battery with a deadly weapon? Well, it's pretty simple, right? A battery with a deadly weapon is defined as a non-consensual contact with a person with the use of a deadly weapon, and this could be like a baseball bat, it could be a knife, it could be a gun, it could be anything used to cause substantial bodily harm. What about battery with substantial bodily harm? Battery with substantial bodily harm is defined as a non-consensual harmful contact that results in the loss of a limb or any other type of permanent disfigurement and results in a serious felony upgrade for the offense. So, I mean, even if you punch somebody, you break their nose, oftentimes a prosecutor will charge it as a battery with substantial bodily harm. Now, what are the penalties for battery? It all depends on what a person is convicted of, right? So if it's a misdemeanor battery, the potential sentence is up to 6 months in jail. Felony battery, up to 10 years in prison, depending on some of the ones that I previously spoke about, right? So what are the defenses to an assault, right? So each case is unique, but there are different defenses. They vary, right? Some of the common defenses could include as follows, right? There was no reasonable indication that the actions that the defendant was going to take would be considered offensive, right? So, for example, in the assault context, or you could even say self-defense in assault. I had a situation recently where the alleged victim in the case yelled a racial slur at my client, right? "You effing spick," he said. Now, my client went up to that person and said, "You know what? If you weren't a woman, I'd kick your ass," right? So the prosecutor charged that person with assault. Is that assault? No. Why? Because the defendant qualified what he was going to do, right? He said, "If you were not a woman, I would kick your ass." She was a woman, therefore he wasn't going to kick her ass. The reasonable apprehension of an immediate battery was not reasonable because he never was going to do it. He qualified the language, right? Some of the same stuff with defenses to a battery. Some of the common defenses are going to be self-defense or a lack of intent, right? So on the self-defense side, could be, listen, this person came at me initially and I responded in self-defense. I responded in like kind. Or with regard to a lack of intent, let's say there's a situation where you inadvertently touch somebody, you inadvertently shove them. You're walking, you trip, and you shove them. Is there an unconsensual touching? Absolutely. But was there an intent to hit the person? Absolutely not. No battery.